Fine.
Thank you. Thank you. So, welcome everybody. My name is Arancha Lopez. I'm the program director of Spanish Gap Year, and we are going to be here today with Lily Tahara, our program coordinator, and Antonio Calmeta, our program leader. We are going to go through a couple of details on program structure, pathways. I'm going to let Lily tell you a little bit more about that. And Lily, Antonio, if you could introduce yourselves briefly, please.
Well, hi, I'm Lily. I'm the program coordinator here at Spanish Gap Year. I'm originally from Minnesota in the US. And I studied marketing and I do some marketing for the company. And I also have experience with different program leader activities and helping you all throughout your time in Spain. So, yeah.
And hi, guys. My name is Antonio. I am from Maui, Hawaii. I've been here in Spain for 3 years, and I've worked at universities here in Spain and also in the United States with international students and study abroad programs. And I'm really excited to be here as well and to have an amazing time in Spain with everybody who's coming this fall and also learn about your experiences for those who are alumni.
So, right here. I'm just going to send the Zoom over real quick to one of the alumni. But just to get started real quick here, so we're going to be talking about advice and pathways for your journey in Spain with Spanish Gap Year. So just like we said, who we are real quick. So this is Arancha, Lily, and Antonio. We're kind of your team here in Spain. So we're the people who help you out with things when you're in Spain, before you come to Spain, and then transitioning on for afterwards. So we're going to talk about a little bit more about our gap semester programs today. And yeah, so just to get into it a little bit about our accreditations. We are accredited through the Gap Year Association. So that means that we meet those standards of excellence both in safety and throughout our program for a gap year audience. So that means that we meet the standards of the United States Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission in order to make this both a meaningful and safe experience for you abroad. So this also means that you can use your 529 account to pay for your Spanish gap year because we have accreditation options with the University of Montana. Some other awards we have is the Go Overseas Community Choice Awards for Safety, and the Español en España, which is a federation here in Spain where they promote learning Spanish here in Spain. So, and as the students take different Spanish classes abroad while they are on their Spanish gap year, that's part of um, one of our big values. So we're going to talk really quick about some pathway options, and then we'll have each alumni be able to chat about some advice and lessons learned, and then we'll have time for questions. So just to get a quick overview, so a gap semester in Spain, this is for ages 18 to 22. It's an all-inclusive program, 1 month of traveling all throughout Spain, 2 months in Barcelona, options for college credit, building your resume with internship and volunteering. We also have personalized pathways and support from me, Antonio, and Arancha all throughout your time in Spain. So a little bit about where you'll be going. So when you come to Spain, you'll be landing here in Madrid. And then, for example, for our upcoming fall program, then you'll be going straight up to San Sebastian in the Basque country. And then from there, we'll be taking a day trip to Hendaya, France. And in each of these cities during this first month, you'll be staying for 1 month with host families with Spanish classes in the mornings and cultural activities in the evenings. So also for 1 week in each of these cities. So we'll do 1 week in San Sebastian, 1 week in Salamanca, 1 week in Seville, 1 week in Madrid, and then the 2 months in Barcelona with day trips to places like Miranda de Douro, Portugal, Cadiz, Hendaya, France, and then settling into Barcelona for that second leg of the program. So to get into a little bit of our pathways, we have three pathway options when you're here in Spain. We have the Career Builders pathway. This is our internship pathways. This is a full-time internship in the industry of your choosing. And this is the best option if you want to get the most hands-on job experience as you can while abroad. Another pathway that we option is the Future Leaders pathway. This is an entrepreneurial pathway where you do an internship, a part-time industry in the industry in part-time internship in the industry of your choosing in the mornings, and then in the afternoons you'll be doing an entrepreneurial case competition program, which we'll get into a little bit more later. And our third pathway is a creative innovators pathway, which is a personalized pathway where you get to mix internship, volunteering, creative classes, all of the above. So yeah, that's a little bit about our pathways. To get more into the internship pathway, so this is great if you want to get the most out of your internship as possible. If you are clear or if you have a good idea of what industry that you want to go into or what career you might want, and you want to try this out while abroad, this is a great option for you. So we've had people do internships in everything from biomedical engineering to business to marketing to sailing to theater to everything above. I like to say that because we're doing this internship in Barcelona, the sky is really the limit here. So one example of a student who did that in the past is Sophie. She did a biological engineering internship in Barcelona, and she did the full-time internship track. And she worked on different projects from organ on a trip to 3D printing molds to new testing solutions. And throughout her internship, she was also connected with a great opportunity to do a hackathon where her team actually won funding for their idea. And then she was invited back to continue her research with the host company and also continue her project on the hackathon that she won funding for. So just one example of something that you can do with that sort of pathway. Another pathway that we offer is the Future Leaders or Entrepreneurial pathway. So this is very cool because you get to pretty much the idea of the entrepreneurship pathway is that you are in groups with with international students, and you're creating a business idea together. So we teach you kind of the basics of business and entrepreneurship and startups, and you create that, you turn that into a reality. And you start this from scratch with expert mentorship and with different industry experts along the way. And you end in a Shark Tank style investor pitch where you get to kind of show your business idea and pitch it to a group of investors, of real investors. And the winner gets a 1,000 euro investment prize. But everybody is eligible for investment as these are real investors and they are very much interested in potentially investing in the business ideas. So one person that we have here to talk a little bit about this is Ransom. Yeah, Ransom, yeah, if you want to talk for a little bit, we have two little slides for you here, um, one just about your pathway, and then the next one for your advice. So welcome, Ransom.
Okay. Hey everybody. I did Spanish gap year last fall. I had a really, really positive experience, obviously. I'm here now talking about it. Um, I started kind of not really with any expectations. And the first section of the hybrid, I was still kind of figuring out what internship I wanted to do, meeting with Arancha, and Lily, and eventually settling on this sustainability journal that I wrote for. Um, and I got really close with my boss there and I worked with two other um, gappers that were from my program. And so that was really cool. Um, I uh I got to do like so much stuff that I wouldn't have been able to do at home. Um and I would say my favorite part was just like getting to do like saying yes to everything. Like okay, my boss just called me and he wants to meet at this cafe so that we can discuss this interview he wants me to do. For like this sustainability conference. Okay, great. and then be there. And then one day, sorry. Um, then the next day being told, okay, we have this other kind of like conference that we want you to go to and take notes on, and having to kind of do all different experience with these like hard skills, WordPress publishing. I learned how to like run our social media pages. It was a really broad scope, and then mixed that with the entrepreneurship was it just felt very well did. Yeah, I would say. Yeah. Are you guys still there?
Yes, yes, Ransom. We are here. We're absolutely here. Thank you so much for that. I'd say there will be some people at the end who have questions for you around your internship, around the entrepreneurship competition and your experience co-founding Nemo. So, bear with us. Can you tell us a little bit about the highlights and your advice? What lessons you'd give to someone about to take a gap year, about to do our program or considering it?
Yes. I would say if you're even considering a gap year or it's like anywhere kind of on your horizon, go for it. You're not going to regret taking this. Even if you come away with it and you're like, oh, well, I wish I had done something a little bit different, like you're going to have that experience behind you and you're going to know yourself a little bit better afterwards. You just like yeah, it's an experience that you won't get anywhere else. So if you're thinking about it, the first thing I would say is just like go for it. Like you're not going to regret taking that step. Um, and then once you're actually in the program, some things that I would say, get to know your host families. It is so cool that you get to be immersed in the culture by actually living with a family. I still speak, like message on WhatsApp, and email some of my host families. I have one host mom from Salamanca that I became super close with. I got to know her daughter, who's an artist, and I'm also an artist, and that was really cool. Like it's just it's a great way to practice your Spanish too. Oh my gosh. And okay, you're going to be in a new city. Who knows the city better than the person that's been living there? Exactly. Get to know your host families. Um, and then the other thing I would say is a little bit more interpersonal. Um, so there's that like cultural component, expose yourself, be super involved in your community, but then also take that time where you're super far away from home to kind of like, okay, this is kind of like a fresh start or like a clean slate. You can be the kind of whoever you want to be. Um, reflect on the person that you are at home, what you like about that, and like kind of solidify the person that you want to be or the identity that you want to carry with you into your next steps. When, yes, like totally, just kind of like step into your own. Um, know what you're capable of. You're in a new country. You might be learning Spanish. You probably will be, and which is really cool. You're gonna have a new job and get to know all these people. Like that's pretty cool. Feel accomplished. Like, yeah. And then something that was like a really memorable moment for me, and this was also like kind of just separate from all of the things that I was accomplishing, was becoming familiar with the program, getting close with Lily. She's a really great resource. I really loved working with her and love Lily. Um, like just being I don't know, being involved with like the people that I was traveling with. Lauren, who's on this call, I love Lauren. And like I have this super specific memory of waking up early and Lily and another girl from our program just saying like we want to hike this mountain that overlooks our residence in Barcelona and being like, yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it. So that's yeah, that's kind of my experience, my little 2 cents.
Thank you so much, Mitz. And yes, that hike was amazing. I have to say, Barcelona has, even though I'm based in Madrid, I love Madrid. Barcelona has some amazing hiking opportunities. So thank you so much. And now we're going to move on to Maya. If Maya wants to talk a little bit about her internship and opportunities with entrepreneurship, then we'll get on to some advice.
Okay. Hi, hello everyone. So I'm Maya. I was in the program for the spring term last spring or this spring. And so my internship was I was working for an individual like business owner. She was a woman. She was working in pre and postnatal health care, and she had a program. So a program that like people could buy, and it was very interactive and engaging, and it had videos for lessons to do about how to keep your body healthy and move it in ways that are safe if you're having a baby. And so that was something that was really new for me, but with new things comes learning a lot of new stuff. So that was something I was really grateful for. I learned how to kind of promote and sell a course, um, and how to keep the audience engaged. I learned how to use new platforms, like the one that we were advertising on was called School. It was a platform I had never used before, so um, that was something new that I learned. And then for the entrepreneurship program, um, that was a really, really good experience too. So we had two groups. Well, there was two groups. Um, my group, our idea was an app that helps you coordinate pickup football or soccer games. It would have been based in Barcelona, and we took 3 months developing the app, since the beginning of the program, and developing the pitch, developing the idea. Um, and it's really crazy how you start from like 7 different ideas in the group, and then you end up with this super elaborate idea, and you have all the details and financial. I mean, to some extent, you have all the financial details and stuff planned out, and so it's very immersive, and it's a very detailed program. I think you'll be working with Chavi if you're in that program, and he is just very intelligent. He taught us so much throughout the course of the program that I don't know where else I would have learned. I mean, unless I'm like fully in a business major or something like that. But yeah, so it was a super, super immersive experience. And just like my group was some people from my program, some people outside of the program, because it's ran through EU Business School, I believe. Um, so there will be other kids on in your group possibly, and so it's another way to make friends. I remember actually one of the members of the other group became a really good friend of mine. And so, uh, after the our final pitch was over, we kind of were talking about the whole process and how it was going for each other. And yeah, it's a really good experience if you're looking to work on your entrepreneurship skills. Sharpens. Okay, now for, sorry, give me one second. Now for my advice in lessons. So, let's start there. So when you're surrounded by new cultures, you're introduced to many new concepts, ideas, ways of thinking, lifestyles. And it's important to keep an open mind and have an optimistic mindset in these cases. Um, and then for me, I like to think deeper about how I can implement certain aspects of different cultures into my life, to be more the person I want to be, or just be more myself and express myself. So that was something I really enjoyed too, and especially with your host families. Um, like it was previously mentioned, you should really get to know them, make some effort to talk to them because they're always super friendly. They want to get to know you too. That's why they're having you there, and they know a bunch of good local spots. I always got the best restaurant, cafe, bar recommendations from my host families. So, and Lily has a lot of good stuff too. So, and then while you're there, I would say just try to learn as much as you possibly can. Like, don't be like unmotivated. Like, now is the time while you're there. You know, you just have so much opportunity. So, yeah, be curious. If there's something you're curious about, you could, research it on your own. Ask yourself, like, what could I learn or experience here that I couldn't usually in my hometown or where you're currently from, staying. And then some memorable moments for me were, well, I love taking long walks, especially like at in the evening or if the sun is going down. Barcelona's just, well, most places were just so beautiful. Like anytime you're just taking a walk, there's so many things to appreciate. I really liked our cooking classes as well, but I just love cooking, so maybe that's a little bias. And then we actually we did a mosaic class that I really enjoyed, but I think there's like things for every person. Like there's art, there's museums, there's cooking classes, there's biking, which I also loved. It was a group bike ride, and it's just like beautiful. You're biking there with people from your group who you're, slowly getting to know. Some of them are becoming your close friends. So just wonderful memories. Oh, and then making friends with the local people who run the businesses at like cafes and bars. Like if you have one that you go to regularly, you can build friendships with them. So that's really nice too. But when I really think back on it, some of my most fond memories were just times when I felt connected to my group members. We could be like doing anything, but it was just like pure happiness because we would all be like laughing and having a good time. And then I just want to quickly mention that if anyone is interested in fashion or like different styles and stuff like that, Spain is you will really appreciate Spain because they have just such a diverse span of fashion and like just regular stores that we have here even it's not the standard. It's like it's just amazing. So yes, that's what I have to say.
Thank you so much, Maya. And yes, I do feel like the fashion here is pretty incredible. So if anybody is looking for an excuse to go shopping crazy abroad, this is your sign.
Yeah, guys, save if you're gonna go, save a little shopping money because you will want it for sure.
We
Definitely.
have somebody here who bought an extra suitcase for the clothes they bought here, so not pointing any fingers.
Wait, was it me? Because I also did that.
Oh my God, no, I wasn't thinking of you, but even Ransom did that, and I know one more person on this call did it, so
Nice.
It's the way to go. Awesome. So getting a little bit more into our third pathway here. So we also have a personalized pathway. So that is really a mix of whatever you are interested in. So we can add in internships, volunteering, art classes, creative classes, photography classes, as you'll see later, sports. So it's really a make it your own sort of pathway. And it's the one that we try to make it most catered to your interests. So one example of this we have is somebody named Lauren, who's here right now, who's going to talk to you a little bit about her sustainability internship and photography classes and some advice for her gap year. Welcome, Lauren.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lauren. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. It's where I'm from. Out of high school, I didn't want to go to college. I was done with school, and that's why I was like, I gotta take a gap year. Like I gotta get out of here. So at first, I was also kind of thinking like I don't really want to do an internship either because I don't want to do work. Like I just want to have fun. But this path, actually, the internship ended up being the best thing that could have happened. I actually did the internship with Ransom. This was in the fall of 2025. We had a good time and it was really awesome. It was with the Sustainability Worldwide Center, and our boss was Miguel, and he was absolutely awesome. I can, I can see Ransom laughing. um, he was the best. I think he was the best because he gave us so much independence and trust when it came to the internship, that we had so much freedom. He gave us topics to write articles on. We got to publish them. And then I got to work on a whole EU project fund, and he just had me reaching out, yeah, to different companies across Europe and call them and convince them to join our fund. I don't know how that happened, but we got it done. And so that was really awesome. But I also chose the creative pathway because I knew I didn't know completely what I wanted to do, but I wasn't interested in entrepreneurship. So I reached out and asked if I could take photography classes because I was really interested in those. And they were really helpful for photography. But what I didn't think about that helped me even more was that the classes were fully in Spanish. So I actually ended up learning a lot more Spanish than photography in that class, which was also really awesome. And the people in that class were really awesome. And everyone in our group was really awesome. And overall, the whole gap year or gap semester was really awesome. And I learned a lot. All right, so this is some of my advice and my lessons from my gap year in Spain. First of all, say yes when you're scared to, well, maybe not to everything, but say yes to the gap year in general. Um, Gap year, like Ransom said, even if you think I could have differently, exactly, you're not going to regret it. I learned so much, not only about if your friends ask you to dance, there were a couple times I actually said no, but but you can say yes. It'll it'll increase your confidence. Um, Say yes, hang out with your host family, sitting and talking to people that you don't know. Say yes to all of that. Second, don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes you can't say yes. Sometimes you're tired and you're sad and you're homesick, and it absolutely happens. Most likely, you're going to miss home no matter how much fun you're having in Spain. You've got people that you love back home, you've got family. Ransom has a raccoon. Um, so, yeah, don't be too, if you're feeling sad, don't be too hard on yourself. Like Maya said, when I was feeling sad, I like to go on walks. It's really beautiful. Um, Number three, failure is good. Mistakes happen, creates opportunities for you to learn from. And things like when you're speaking Spanish, a lot of the times I was scared to speak in Spanish to people because I knew it probably sounded really bad. But the only way to get better at Spanish was to keep speaking it and making those mistakes. And then people can say, oh, it's actually like this. And then you'll learn from it. And then fourth is take things at your own pace. I remember when I graduated high school, even though I was thinking I don't want to go to college, all of my friends a year ago at this time, they were all talking about college. And I kind of felt a little bit behind because I didn't know what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go. But absolutely take things at your own pace. It's not a race, a competition. It's not a comparison with how fast your life seems to be going versus theirs. You're right where you need to be. And so if you're unsure what to do, even if you're unsure what to do after the gap year, you're going to get there. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Lauren. That was amazing. And I'm still so proud of you. Lauren went to Uruguay after coming to Spain. And so she continued speaking Spanish. So I have to say that's pretty impressive. Awesome. Well, moving on, now we have our last alumni speaker here, Val, who's going to chat a little bit about some Spanish courses, art classes, volunteering, and some advice learned from her gap year. Welcome, Val.
Hello. So I was in the spring semester of last year, similar to Maya, but I did something a little bit different. So I chose to opt with a little bit more Spanish classes, as well as I took some all classes on Wednesday and Thursday. And then I also did some volunteering at a local kind of football slash soccer organization that helped kind of young adults play football in Barcelona. So that was on kind of like Tuesday evenings as well as Wednesday morning. So it was overall really fun. I would also agree with everyone, say yes to a lot of things. I didn't know a lot of things before going into Spain, so just saying like yes and immersing with yourself with that is like really good. But this kind of just like having a way to like also once you get to Barcelona to kind of like explore of what you're interested in is also like really good. So I was like really interested in art, so I decided to take like an art class on Wednesday and Thursday, and that was just like really meaningful because I was also like meeting people outside of my program. I gotta do art and also like talk to some people, and actually the art instructors, they're all like really really good. um and I found it really fun to go there for volunteering at Barcelona street soccer. Who knew that I could be playing football and helping people who just came from the country to like enjoy themselves and also get completely destroyed by probably like a 45-year-old mom whose name is uh, her name was Maddie, and she came from like Colombia. She completely destroyed me, but it's just really fun like interacting with them. So like I interacted with like a lot of other people outside of my program, so that's why I like really enjoyed these like Spanish and all classes, and then also uh, volunteering. So, and then my advice, like trying new things, genuinely try. You'll kind of like make a lot of new memories. Like similar to everyone, say yes. If you say no to something, then you won't actually know how that experience would have gone. Really, I feel like that's somewhat self-explanatory, but like it always goes back to that phrase of like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you don't take a shot on learning something or doing something, you're just not gonna know what it is. Truthfully, I think you should only really be on your phone for communication and taking photos, especially if you're in Spain with meeting new people on your program. Like I especially bonded with Maya and a lot of people in my program. You really do not need to play games or be on social media all the time. I know it's tempting in this modern age. But like, especially on your first week, that too. um, Maya and I kind of played Quasi Vote, but we bonded over that actually. But and I think it was just like really, really fun to like enjoy that. And then also write down what do you know about yourself. Like truthfully, similar to uh, Lily told me so many good fashion spots. I really like this with Maya that you can get a whole entire new wardrobe. Alonso was definitely referring to me when she said someone bought a whole entire suitcase full of new clothes. That was me as well. So like I didn't really know much about fashion. I still am trying to build my wardrobe, but I if you track just like the tiny things, you will surprise yourself of how much you learn at the beginning of the trip. So that's what I would recommend. And then kind of a memorable moment was Livia, and which is in Spain, but it's kind of an enclave and surrounded by France, and it was really pretty. And I had a memorable moment seeing the sunrise across the town. So it was just like really fun. Oh, and there's my photo of a sunrise that I took.
I think that that's probably one of my favorite photos that any Gapper has taken on their gap year. This is just absolutely shockingly beautiful. Thank you so much for chatting with us, Val. That is awesome. And yes, this looks like it's out of a Disney princess movie, and I love it.
Keep in
So
mind, she took that on her like iPhone. What is it, Val? What is your phone model again? Like an iPhone 8 or something.
It's a iPhone 6S. So
Yeah. She's
I love my phone. I will not get rid of it for as long as I can.
That just speaks to how actually beautiful it is.
yes. No, I don't think that. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So yeah, anyways, so here is just some other photos from the gap year time. This was the thing that Ransom was talking about of climbing the mountain, and some playing cards and going to cooking classes and surfing and just some fun memories abroad. So without further ado, we have some time for questions here. If anybody has any specific questions, you can feel free to call out a person. If you have a specific question for an alumni or for one of us, you can feel free to just say our names for who you have a question for, or if it's just general. So yeah, we're opening up the floor.
I had a question about like making friends with locals and just like I guess my Spanish level is like not super high. So like if you want to communicate with locals and not just talk English, how did you manage that? And was that something that like all of you guys could figured out or how'd that work?
Okay, I have something to say really quick. So I think even if your Spanish level isn't that great, that's kind of part of the fun in it because you guys are going back and forth, and it's not like you got to kind of come up with creative ways to articulate what you're trying to say if you don't know how to say it. So, sometimes you have to whip out the Google Translate. It's just that's what it is, sometimes. And it's not like that's not learning, you can still like take away stuff that you look up. But yeah, that's definitely a way. And then just explaining it with the Spanish that you know, like trying to re-explain something with the Spanish that you know is also something that I found myself doing. Um, or just like describing the overall thing like with the words that you know. So, but yeah, you'll get creative and that's kind of part of the fun of the conversation sometimes is that everyone is struggling to communicate and it's something that you can kind of bond over. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. And Elsa, if I may jump in as the only Spaniard on this call, we love when people who are not Spanish try to speak Spanish. We absolutely we celebrate it. So any effort that you make will be so welcome and people will want to speak with you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's also true.
I will say one thing also about the like Spanish language schools that you guys will go to if you decide to do the program. They have opportunities for you to like cultural experiences, whether that might be like typically one day of the week there will be like a get together where a bunch of the different students from all different levels of like Spanish speaking will come together and like maybe you go to like a bar somewhere or there's like kind of some sort of social activity as well as like cultural immersion. They're good ways to like kind of orient yourself with the culture of that specific city and then also just like the Spanish language.
Also, one other quick thing. The language schools are like so great, the ones that I was at. And most of the time, like the classes are pretty flexible. So like if there's something you're curious about or a conversation you want to learn how to have, you can always bring it up to your teachers and they'll like teach you. But like say you want to learn how to like talk to a clothing retailer person at like a store about sizes or something. They like will have a whole they'll teach you how to do it. So just yeah, like if there's ever something you want to know how to have a conversation about, you can bring it up in the classes and they are very helpful, the teachers.
And also, if I can jump in, something really great about learning Spanish in Spain is that in many cities, people do not default to English. They'll try what they can to help you. And it's just a really amazing place to just practice, learn. Definitely just try to use what you know and just keep building on it and don't give up. Um, you'll learn a lot of Spanish while you're here. And I'm someone who speaks a lot of languages. I actually speak around seven. So, another tip that I can give you guys is when you come, to Spain, bring a journal maybe, and just write whatever you learn every single day in your journal, what you learn in Spanish. Maybe you can write about your day in Spanish, and it'll definitely keep you learning more while you're here.
Thank you, Antonio. And to that, you will be traveling with Lily and with Antonio, who are both from the US and both completely fluent in Spanish. So they have been through the same process as you're about to start. Okay, more questions, you guys.
Kind of also relating to the language class or stuff. Usually they'll like quite they'll there's a lot of different variants and if it's like small or large, but with large that means that you get to also interact with people like I met some people that were from the Netherlands, so they speak Dutch. I speak English. We can found a common ground through Spanish, right? So you will meet other people who also are learning Spanish, so it just won't be you. So like, and the other people on your program. So like, you'll definitely have experience or time to talk to others with that.
Yeah, and you get placed at the level that's right for you, so you're not like not understanding what's happening all the time.
I have a question for like anybody. Um, so does like one of the paths, like the internship path, like count for credits, I heard, for like credit
Yeah.
hours?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're eligible for up to 12 college credits. If you're interested in earning those and you're allowed by your institution, you can earn up to 12. And the program is completely eligible by for your 529 as well.
Okay, awesome.
We do have Maya actually went for credit. Maya, do you want to tell Maxwell a little bit about what that involves?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's like it's a very like quick way to get credits. I would say it's not like you're already doing the learning and stuff here, and then for the credits, you kind of just reflect on what you've learned, and it gives you like you'll be prompted with a bunch of different questions. And part of it is like journaling your experience. Oh yeah, I remember. For the internship specifically, you make blog posts on uh like an online platform, like a blog platform, and then you just submit it to your instructor for the credits. And then they read it, and it's just like you, it's very much just like reflection about what you've already learned. So, and kind of like getting more familiar with it, I think is what they want for what they want you to do for the credits. So it's not really anything like super difficult. But you do have to like set aside time to get this to, do the stuff. But it's not super difficult. It's just like stuff that you've already done. So I would really recommend it. I think it's an easy way to get credits while you're doing your program.
All right,
And
thank you.
Maya was already in college when she took her gap year as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I graduated in 2024. So I went to University of Hawaii for 1 year. Or yeah, 1 year, and then I was doing some community college back in Oregon when I went. And so yeah, they allowed me to get credits, and it was super nice. Like it's just super convenient. So
Thank you, Maya. More questions, you guys. Keep them coming.
So if there's no questions, I'd like to ask you guys a question actually, to all the alumni. What was your favorite spot during your time in Spain between all the cities you went to? What was the most memorable and why?
My favorite. Oh, do you want to go?
No, no, of course.
All
You're
right.
you.
My, my favorite was San Sebastian. I don't know if that's because that was like the first city we were in, and it was just like so exciting to be there that first week. But I just thought it was really pretty. I really liked the size of the city. It was very walkable. And I really loved the language school there, and it was all so fresh. Our whole group, we were getting to know each other. So I really loved it there.
And it is, Lauren, the Basque country is just the best. I can
Good
say that as a
cheesecake.
Basque. Our cheesecake, right? Yes, it
Hmm.
is indeed.
Um, I I love San Sebastian, Donostia, um, which is the Basque name, and yeah, because Basque is awesome. It's a super cool language. Um, but which Arantxa speaks fluently because she's Basque. Um, and which is super cool. But mine was probably Barcelona. That was the place that I got to know the best. I made a lot. I became really close with my group, like my Spanish gap year group. We had some really cool people. And but yeah, staying in the student residence was like that was pretty cool because I got to meet people from all over. Like there was this one girl and she was an exchange student from Mexico. Her name's Maite. And we became like super I love Maite. And we've been like talking back and forth. After my semester in Spain, I went to Mexico and I did a backpacking trip with a program called Knowles, which is also cool. Um, I was there for 80 days, but afterwards, I got to see Maite in Mexico, which was like so cool. It was so full circle. It was really great seeing her. And I made friends with like a bunch of people yeah. In the residence, there was this group of like Catalan people, which like we would speak Spanglish. And then they would speak Spanglish plus Catalan, which was just like a total head trip, but I loved it. I proposed to someone there and went to a ball. Um, the residence does this thing where it's like it's just like it's just something that the students have decided and it's like a tradition there. But yeah, I proposed this guy named Pedro, and we went to a ball together, like just just do stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I got really close with a bunch of the people there. I still talk to some of them. I still got my Catalan crew. One of these days I'm gonna go and stay with some of them. But yeah, Barcelona's my
Come see us. Ransom, you should come say hi this fall.
I know, I really
Well, you
want
all
to.
should.
Yeah.
We'll be having our alumni reunion in November. That's a good time to come, everyone. Start planning.
I'll be there. Really will.
Super.
Okay. So my favorite place was I'm having trouble deciding between Sevilla and Barcelona, but I think like touching back on what Lauren said about how San Sebastian was her favorite because it was the first week. For our group, Sevilla was the first stop. So maybe that played a part in it. Everyone was just so excited and like it was just amazing. But I also really love Barcelona. Like I just feel very like I don't know, not at home, but I don't know. It's just it's so like full of different things. It's beautiful. It's big. I like learned how to navigate the city from where I needed to go, kind of. The metro system's great. Yeah, I would say for me it was Barcelona, but maybe that's just because we were there for the longest. So yeah.
I really enjoyed Seville and Barcelona. I mean, I enjoyed every place because each place was kind of like really unique in sense, and it had its kind of like own charm, I'd say. I really uh liked our first week of like getting to know people. So like that does have some bias into me liking it a lot more, as well as we did a really cool bike ride while there, like across the city, which was really awesome in Seville. And I also just really enjoyed my host family there that were like really was really awesome. So and it's just like really surreal experience getting to experience Spain for the first time. So
Okay.
Oh, I have,
Eli, listeners.
yeah, I have a question. Um, oh, can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
for the people in the fall, I'm just worried about like packing, like what clothes to bring. You guys think you packed too warm, like compared to living in the US? Do you think you brought like what type of clothes would you bring, and do you regret bringing like too many short sleeves or like the opposite? I don't know.
Um, I so I'm from South Carolina. Lauren is from North Carolina. It is hot all the time here, all the time. Um, but what I would say is like, depending on where you're from or how you handle the cold, realistically, the only cold part is the last bit of November. Like, that's when you're gonna want a jacket, some thick pants, and like a hoodie, like a decent jacket. But yeah, um, it like raincoat, don't. Yeah,
No, I
that's it.
agree. It's just like the last 2 weeks that it gets really cold and it's like super cold at night. But during the
Yeah,
day, I feel like it's manageable. So either I would say don't lug around a jacket for the whole time, either buy one or I just toughed it out. It's rough, but we-
yeah,
a
that was
sweatshirt will
impressive.
do. Thank you.
I couldn't do that. I live on an island. It didn't work, but I bought a jacket. But yeah, there's no point in like when you're moving in and out of host families' houses, like you don't want to be lugging a lot of stuff, especially when
Mhm.
you're on the trains. Like that's not something you want to be carrying around. Bring a decent backpack because like you'll be out all day basically. So like bring a bag that you can actually like schlep your stuff around in.
Yeah. Did you guys bring like a carry-on suitcase or bigger? I assume bigger than that, right? Yeah.
I had a bigger bag than that.
Yeah.
Um, I had a massive bag. I would say pack lighter. Yeah.
Okay.
So pack light, like while you're going there, because you're gonna have so much stuff. This was the size of the suitcase that I had to purchase. Wait, give me one sec. How do I flip this? Oh. It's pretty big. I don't know if you can tell. But like I had to get a whole new suitcase because A, the one that I brought was way too small, and B, you'll buy a lot of stuff. Well, probably. So yeah, bring a big suitcase.
Yes, we usually recommend that gappers bring one big checked suitcase. If you're really low maintenance and you can do it one carry-on, go ahead. But usually what works best for most people is one big checked suitcase and a backpack. And no carry-on, just because trying to have two suitcases in two hands can be a little bit crazy sometimes. So yeah.
And I'd recommend if you're getting a jacket, maybe get it here in Spain. There are so many amazing stores, as we mentioned earlier, where you can get clothes. So keep in mind you might want to buy some extra clothes while you're here for the fall, maybe a light jacket. Yeah, just keep that in mind as well.
It's a good extra souvenir too if you decide to like get a jacket or something that you have like this jacket from Spain. That's probably pretty cool.
All right, you guys. We are 1 minute over the hour. Anybody else? Any further questions, comments, queries?
I have a question about like dressing nicely. During the first month, well, like I from what I saw, there was more like adventurous stuff. How do you I'm trying to figure out kind of like culturally what's acceptable to wear. I know I feel like you guys dress up maybe more than we do in the US, so what would be a good like thing to wear for that time?
Your
I
regular
mean,
clothes are fine. Oh, sorry. Ransom, jump on it. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Like no, when you're with your host families, like it doesn't like it's fine. And when you go to like your classes, like the first month there won't really be an event where you want to dress nice or that you need to like super dress up for. Have like a nice shirt and a like nice pair of pants, but that can be like a nice pair of jeans. But then when you're in your internship, it kind of depends. You'll get your internship and you'll kind of know what the expectation is beforehand. Just have like a pair of slacks and a button down, and then some like, I don't know, like a couple of interchangeably nice shirts.
Um, and then one other quick thing, I would say pack like comfier stuff more than like cute stuff because there's already gonna be so much cute stuff there that you're gonna want to buy. And you don't want to like have to, I don't know. I would just say bring like comfy basics and then while you're there you can get more cute stuff.
What
Uh,
type of currency do y'all use in Spain?
we use
We use
euros.
heroes.
Euros? Okay, for sure.
So,
I was wondering.
and then also kind of relating to clothing, yeah, I'd probably say probably about like a collared shirt and then also some like work attire pants, so like kind of like dress pants. You don't need to wear exactly also fancy shoes, unless except for like maybe the final pitch for the um like entrepreneurship pathway or future leaders program. You don't need a lot of fancy stuff for your internship, but you should also just like always make sure that you check in with your boss on what they expect for that, you know.
That's it. Your dress code will be specified in your internship agreement, also for any work functions and day to day. So it really depends on what company you're working for.
Yeah, so
For
like
volunteering, if sorry, pardon me. Well, if you are doing volunteering with courses, obviously you're not going to need fancy stuff. You're going to need very comfortable stuff. But if you're working at a finance firm, likely it's going to be smart casual every day.
yeah, like for example, I was playing football. Do I need to show up in a dressing suit? No, I don't need to uh show up in that. So I just like wore something because it was usually in the evening, for example. I just wore something that kept me warm and that was like completely fine. But so and then for like in all class, do I really need to show up in that? No, I don't. So like it's really up to the stuff. Usually it's small casual though. Yeah.
And also, since Maxwell, you mentioned money, I wanted to quickly note if you can bring maybe some euros to spend, maybe like come with 100 euros, but not too much. Because when you're in Spain, we use contactless payments and credit cards for mostly everything. So you don't need that much cash on you, but it's always good to have a little bit just in case. And you can check if your credit card has international fees. A lot of credit cards don't. But yeah, in general, in Spain, we're very modern with payments. And if you have a credit card from the US, you're generally good.
All right, cool.
It's always a good idea to let your bank know that you're going abroad so they don't think you're being hacked and block your card. So always little note letting them know, okay. Vale. Any more questions? Oh, Maya has a little friend there.
Also, you will
Okay.
go to a uh eSIM shop so that you can pay for like an eSIM. You don't need to exactly purchase data because that can be really expensive, especially really quickly. So you will go to like a SIM shop to make sure that you get like a phone plan.
And adding on that, if you plan on getting an eSIM here in Spain, please make sure your phone is unlocked before you leave, because that will be an issue if you come to Spain and your phone is locked. So look into your provider, talk to your parents, see if your phone is unlocked. And if it is not, then make sure it is before you come to Spain, or else you won't be able to use any eSIMs.
Yeah, it's not as complicated as it sounds though. Just go to, like, for example, if you have Verizon or something, just go to a Verizon store and just tell them that you're going to Spain and they'll set you up. That's what I did and I had no issues the whole time. So, yeah.
Super. Okay, you guys. Any last minute burning questions? Elsa Lisette, Eli, Maxwell.
So,
Okay.
will we be hearing from y'all?
Of course, yes. So we will be emailing you after this, Maxwell. I'm actually staying on after this to meet your family. So happy to answer any extra questions during that time. You'll start receiving emails from Lily as well with information on packing, on timeline, on placement discovery calls. All of that is coming your way. Okay,
Awesome. Thank you.
super. Well, if there's nothing else, you guys, we just want to thank everyone for coming. Alumni, you are legends and big legends at that. Thank you for spending part of your Saturday. For some of you, super, super early here with us. We really appreciate your help. It's always way better to hear from you who's been through the program and who tell authentic answers rather than hearing it from me and from our team. So we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And for everyone who showed up from fall, from spring next year, thank you also for coming. It was great seeing you all.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It was great to meet everyone. And if you
Thank you,
guys go, I hope
Maya.
you have a great time.
Cheers.
It's good
Val,
to
thank you
see
so
you.
much. She's after sharing her number on the chat. If anybody has any questions, Val is offering to, chat to you via text. So thank you, Val, for your generosity. And like I said, thank you everyone so much for coming. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye. It
Cheers.
was so good
Bye
seeing you
bye.
guys.
I
Yay,
know, I
great
miss you
seeing
guys.
I know.
Nice
How was
meeting you all.
Mexico? How was
Oh my
Mexico, Ransom?
gosh. It was so good, Arancha. It was like, I just saw because I haven't been using WhatsApp much since I've been back in the country. And so I
Okay,
saw your message as well as Lily's. But yeah, no, oh, I
amazing.
loved it. I'll like send you more detailed stuff.
Send me a big update, please. I'd
I
love
will.
to hear. And I
I will.
love Knowles. I see them all the time. So yeah,
Yeah.
would love to hear. And Lauren, please don't be a stranger. Send me things.
Absolutely.
Super.
Thank you
Thank you
guys.
guys. Great to see you.
Good to
Bye
see
bye.
you.
Mhm.
Have a great weekend.
All right,
Okay, I
Arancha.
think we can
Well,
stop the recording.
oh goodness. Yes, yes, yes.